Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 134.
Today is once again moving day, and we are quite sad about this because we have loved this 3-bedroom Grand Villa here at Copper Creek. It's so big, we love the decor here, and it was really nice that our friends were able to stay with us and that we had room for them because the room was so large. We did sleep in as much as possible this morning because we got in so late after the Moonlight Magic event, but we did have to get up, pack all of our stuff up, and get all of us out of the room. So of course we called Bell Services to take our larger suitcases, and we took the smaller ones to our car. And we aren't going very far because we are heading over to Grand Floridian in a deluxe studio in the Villas.
Now we've stayed here in the Villas before, just not in a studio yet. There's a lake view studio and a standard view studio, and this time we have standard view. One of the harder rooms to book in DVC as far as the studios go. Thankfully we were able to grab one about a month ago, so I'm really excited to see this room and stay here for the next couple days because we actually have back-to-back rooms at the same resort, which I tried to do as much as possible. It just didn't often work out very well. So anyway, we got all checked in when we got there and our room was not ready yet, so we decided to walk around the resort a little bit and go have some lunch. We had some leftovers from dinner last night because our friends who were staying with us made dinner there in the Grand Villa, had leftover food and couldn't really take it with them, so they gave it to us, and now we have lunch for today. So we walked down to the quick service location, Gasparilla Island Grill, heated up our food, and about the time our food was warm, we noticed it got really dark outside, and all of a sudden, another storm, just like the last 2 days, just blew through and completely drenched everything. This was a crazy thunderstorm.
We had actually planned on eating outside because there's a beautiful view of Cinderella Castle out there, and that's when we noticed that we were not going to be eating outside. In fact, no one was eating outside because it was a very bad storm. But these are those pop-up showers everyone talks about in Florida. They happen and then they're gone. Sure enough, we ate inside, had our meal, and it didn't completely stop raining by the time we were done, but it had lightened up a lot. So we were able to get over to our room. There's plenty of covered walkway that we can get to and kind of run real fast if we need to. Our room was ready early, which we were very grateful for. So we headed to our room and took some detailed pictures of the room and 360 pictures, and we were pleasantly surprised with our view too. We had an awesome view of the monorail.
Yeah, as a standard view here in the Villas at Grand Floridian, you could have a couple different views. You could be looking at like a rooftop right there beside you, but a lot of the standard view rooms are right there by the monorail, so you have a really cool shot of the monorail going by over and over throughout the day. It's a fun place to be, even though lake view is beautiful. I kind of like the standard view myself.
Me too.
And of course we did a room tour live on Facebook of the room. It has a queen bed here. So you do have a real queen bed with a really pretty headboard. And of course a little hidden Mickey on the bed. And then you have a pull-out couch, which is queen size as well. Now this is not one of the newer pull-out couches that has kind of the thicker mattress on it. It's still one of the older ones, so it's not quite as soft as some of the newer ones they have. But it is a pull-out sofa bed there, queen size, so you have your fourth sleeper there. And then here up beside the wall, we have a pull-out bed, little twin bed there that is really not quite adult size, more like child size bed, but if you're a shorter adult, I guess you could stay there as well. And if you'd like to see that entire room tour, it's linked down in the description below and up there in the corner.
After we did the room tour, we got all settled in. Robert had a few emails to answer, and I went wandering around the resort just to see what was happening. They did have some activities and coloring pages set up downstairs because it was still pretty wet outside. The pool was open, but there are still a lot of things they can't do because the ground's completely wet. So they had those set up in the lobby here in the Villa side of Grand Floridian. I did ask if our luggage made it over because we aren't very far from where we were before, and sure enough it was there early, so they brought it up to our room, which makes things really easy for us because we are heading out tonight and we hate calling when it's really late because inevitably we end up in a long line of people. Once we got our luggage and got all settled, we drove over to Port Orleans Riverside because the cast member friends we had over the other night invited us to trivia night. We didn't even know they did that at Riverside.
Yeah.
And so they invited us over. There was a bunch of people that they knew, so we got introduced to all of them. And this was so much fun. And these were really hard questions too. even for Disney fans like ourselves, there were a lot of questions I did not know the answer to. Thankfully, there's a lot of us in the group on the team, and so we had a lot of people who knew different answers to different things. Our team name was the Beignets because they have beignets there. I actually came up with that name, and I'm very proud of it, which is why I'm calling it out right now.
And I'm very proud because my love of puns and terrible jokes is apparently rubbing off on Alyssa.
Even
because
2 years
she's
ago.
just
Yep.
always making them now, and I feel like I've accomplished my goals in life. And I was also happy to be here at Riverside because where they have the trivia is actually in the River Roost Lounge, which has amazing food, or so I've been told. So I decided to order up the wings and one of the watermelon lemonades they had there with the Odwalla lemonade. And I really enjoyed these wings. They were called Bayou wings, so I don't know what the flavor was supposed to be exactly. It was kind of a sweeter barbecue flavor, but it did have a little bit of a kick to it. I really liked these a lot. I was really glad we got these. Of course, I did share with a couple people. Alyssa wanted a couple, and a few of our friends wanted some, but mostly I ate them because they were really good.
We did really well as a team throughout the night answering questions, but it did come down to 3 teams had a tie at the very last round. So we each got to send someone up. So we sent Robert up, and they asked a question that, ironically, none of the 3 people up there knew the answer to.
It was a ridiculous question. It was one of the year questions where it's like, what year was a specific person inducted as a Disney legend? Well, how am I supposed to know that? That's not something I paid a lot of attention to. I know who the Disney legends are, a lot of them, but the year? Come on. So we all just guessed different years, and someone else got closer than I did.
So they did the closest, but no one actually got the answer. So we did not win for the night, but we still had such a fun time. We got to make new friends. We got to make new memories. This was a really enjoyable night. We both had such a great time. We ended up staying out pretty late because we were talking to our new friends, just getting to know them, and we were both having such a good time. But we did realize that they had to drive home and we had to drive back to our resort, so we did have to end the night. So we drove back to Grand Floridian, and that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.